Welcome to the Natural Hair Podcast at Morells, giving you the lowdown on the black hair experience. We have the beautiful Lauren Nicole with us today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
How are you, sweetie?
Oh my God, I'm so good. Now that I'm with both of you.
Yes, baby girl.
This is our client, by the way.
Yes.
So we know each other, so it's very comfortable.
Very.
So yes, Lauren is a model, a plus size model. You've worked with the lines of Judy Love, Very, which I met you on that shoot.
Yes.
Pleasure.
Such a fun shoot.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
I wasn't there because...
He was working.
Okay. Simple. That was simple. Okay, no problem.
He was at Morells working. sorry. Next time.
Okay.
Of course.
And you've worked with New Look as well, and you've had your Fashion Killer blog that you do, right? So that's what we know of.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add to that?
I also work with Cosmopolitan magazine, so I'm their contributing curve editor. Yes. So I do all of their like curve plus size related fashion articles, which is really fun.
Beautiful.
What else do I do? A load of things, loads of creative things. That's me.
We spoke with one of your appointments, and you were saying how much of an influence you give these brands onto representing bigger sizes, different colors, just overall doing things that make you feel comfortable in order to make other people feel comfortable. Do you want to tell me more about that?
Yeah, of course. So I started working with New Look last year, and I joined them as a curve consultant. The first reason that I joined them was I had a very honest conversation with them about the fact that I was struggling to work with them on an influencer level, that I just felt like some of the clothes weren't. I'm a person of integrity and I like to be as authentic as I can be. So I never want to be in a situation where actually the product or the thing that I'm supposed to be posting about isn't actually something that I'd wear.
We love that.
Love that.
So I had a very honest conversation with them about how I felt like their curve collection just wasn't up to scratch at that point. And they took the feedback and went back to their bosses and whoever else in New Look that they went back to. And essentially what ended up happening was I joined them as a curve consultant to begin with. So I was assisting in kind of trying to not reshape, but add some influence in the sense of this is what my audience, this is what women want to be wearing. I did some really deep research and kind of like searching when people were talking about New Look and the conversations that they were having. And then I also then joined them and I did 3 edits with them, which was really fun.
Amazing.
And was a really exciting experience. One, because I'd never done an edit before with a brand. So that was like a first experience for me. And I was just so overwhelmed and honored to be able to work with them on that level. And then I also was a brand ambassador with them alongside Emily Attack, Anne-Marie and Mahalia. So that was really fun.
Wow.
Really fun.
Basically,
well done,
you're
New
saying
Look.
that you have influenced New Look.
I mean, I hope so, yes.
And some of the stuff that's out there is because you've opened up and said, listen, can we have stuff that really represents us rather than the generic things that you keep putting out there?
Definitely. And I think the thing is, you know, and these are conversations that I've had with multiple brands, not just New Look, but the thing is that because people are buying these clothes, to them it's like, well, we're making our profit.
Yeah.
So why do we need to change? Why do we need to tap into a different audience? And I think as well, the conception of what a plus size woman is has always been that she's like the 50-plus-year-old woman who's lost her way and she wants to cover her body. That's not the case anymore.
No.
There's plus size people and women who are in their early 20s, who are at school, who are, you know, just moving through the world, and they want to be feeling confident and feeling sexy and feeling all these different things that their smaller size friends are feeling. But the experience has been that when they go to the shopping center with their friends, and my experience as well, I'd go to the shopping center with my friends and they'd be pulling out things and I'm like, I'll get some accessories.
Wow.
And like, okay, on some occasions that might be cool, and probably my bank account was very happy that I was doing that.
Accessories.
But sometimes you want to be able to just go and pop to the shop and buy something and not have to think, okay, well, if I order something for Saturday, the party that I'm going to on Saturday, well, I need to buy it on maybe Wednesday for it to come on Thursday for me to make sure that it fits properly and for me to potentially send back and look for something else. Like, it's not there's no kind of like popping down to Westfield and purchasing a cute outfit. So one of the reasons that I really wanted to work with them was to kind of tap into that and talk about how, guys, we need to change that. Not just them, but
in general,
the fashion industry in general.
Yeah. I love what you said about integrity, because that with Morells, that resonates a lot. You know, we're very much about that. I think that's very important in the fashion industry, products in general, and I think a lot of people tend to push things for the sake of maybe they're getting a good payout for it. Why have you decided to go with that? Because I'm guessing you could have gone down the line of, you know, another direction.
Yeah, I think so. I think, to be fair, I come from a family where everyone is very bullshit and they're very loud and opinionated.
Right.
So I feel like if I did something that was a little bit like, what the hell?
You're going to know about it.
I'm going to know times 10.
Someone will tell you.
Someone's going to tell me about myself.
Yeah.
And so I think that's always played a role in it as well for me. And the fact that like I come from a family of women, I'm from a very like heavily matriarchal family where all of the women have succeeded in their lanes, in their fields, whether they've gone on to do academia, whether they've gone on to do marketing, whatever it is, they've all succeeded. So for me, a large part of the reason why I move the way that I move is because of that, but also they've all done it with integrity. Yeah. They've all done it being authentic. They've all done it following the morals that they have. Yeah. And I think that shapes a person, and that 100. Allows you to show up in the workspace, whatever workspace that is, because it doesn't have to be like public facing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that brings me to like, tell me more about who Lauren Nicole is. Who is she?
It's so funny because we were speaking about this earlier, and I was saying how my new hair, which I'm sure we'll speak about in a sec, but I was saying about how my new hair has made me feel like I've entered like this new era. Yes. And I feel like so confident and just like bold and like unapologetically myself.
Yeah. You are exuding that. When I see your page, I'm just like, this girl is
But the thing is, like, if we went back like maybe 7 months ago, I was not there, which is wild to me. So that's why I'm like, I don't know, but she's fun.
She is so fun.
Hey.
And she's bold. But yeah, I think there's been like a lot of evolution. I feel like not just in terms of my look and everything, but just the way that I relate to other people. And I talk about this quite heavily on my social media, but I've been like going through my own healing journey. So part of that has included changing my diet. Part of that has included therapy. And it's been really beneficial for me. So yeah, she's in a new era and it's fun.
We love that.
I love it. And you know what? Because you talked about 7, I'm surprised you said 7 months. I thought you was about to say 7 years.
No, 7
I'll
months.
be honest. Wow.
I feel like we're part of this journey.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
You guys are.
See, my thing is your hair is your crown.
Yep.
And this may sound a bit deep, but underneath your hair is actually your brain. Mm. And it's one of the closest things to your brain. And just having a new hairstyle or taking care of your hair can transcend into your life, you know. Yeah. Okay, now I've taken care of my hair, which is my crown. Yeah. What other areas do I need to dissect and take care of in order to heal? So, yeah,
so Nicole, tell us a little bit about, because you said 7 months ago, take us back now, say 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we know the Nicole now, we've seen the confident, the levels are up. Yeah. You know, you're doing big things, but that, I'm guessing that hasn't always been the case, right?
No. So I think it's difficult, and I can only imagine how difficult it is now for like young girls growing up, because you've got TikTok and you've got not just TikTok, but you've got social media, you've got just media in general that has such an influence in the way that we, women and men as well, but women look at themselves and feel about themselves, and like the stories that are told about, you know, buy this to cover up your cellulite or to cover up your stretch marks or whatever the case may be. And so not that I grew up in like a time where social media was at its peak, but you know, like Facebook was bubbling and all of this sort of stuff. And so I think my understanding of my body was very much like I would be following like these pages for like thin inspiration on Tumblr and stuff like that. And actually growing up, I wasn't really a chunky girl. I think I I definitely hit puberty earlier than my friends, which meant that I was much taller than everybody else. But when I look back at pictures, despite the fact that during those times I felt like I was the fattest thing ever.
You wasn't, was you?
I wasn't.
That's something women go through.
It's so weird.
And it's like you wish that you could have appreciated what you looked like then.
Yeah. And so I think because of that, and then when you add in the element of like Tumblr and social media and the impact that that had on me, while like I can compare it to the impact it's having on my little cousin now, it's very different.
Right.
I know that definitely swayed my perception of myself.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was very uncomfortable. I went through a period of time, like growing up, where I absolutely loved dancing, singing, like all of those sorts of things. I was in Stagecoach. I was told off all the time for singing in class and making a damn fool because I was an influence from the beginning, but everyone would like stand up and copy me. And my teacher would be like, can you sit down? Like that's literally all my like report cards used to say. She talks too much, she sings too much. Like she's an influencer, basically.
Yeah. That's what she is.
And my mum was just like, can you stop? Please. But so I went through that period of time, and then I probably hit like maybe year 7 but I went to a girls' school, so my experience of that is also different. But I probably got to year 7 and I was then all of a sudden hyper aware of my body. I think I'd been always hyper aware of my body, but now it was even more so because my body was developing. I had boobs, I had hips, I had a bump, and no one else
you look different.
Had that, right?
Yes, compared to your peers.
Right. Yeah. And so not only that, but then I had no one to speak about it with in terms of within my peers. So I had cousins that were like a little bit older than me, but they're not the same age as I am. And I just felt very uncomfortable, I would say, in my body. And so by the time I reached maybe 16, probably actually younger than that, I would like tell my mom how I don't want to leave the house. Like I remember this one specific time, she wanted me to go to Sainsbury's, which is probably like a 10-minute bus journey from mine. And the entire bus journey I was crying because I thought someone was looking at me and like making fun of me. The person wasn't looking at me, probably not. But in my head, it was like, oh, they're like laughing at me. They're thinking all of this about me. And I remember coming home and my mum just being like, why are you so upset? I don't understand. And of course, parents always say this anyway, like you're the most beautiful thing ever or whatever. But I'd be like, Mum, you just don't get it.
And like, you don't want to hear that from someone that knows you.
Yeah.
You just feel like they're going to say that, right?
1000%. But even if I did hear it from other people, it's not absorbing at all. It's like, oh, they're just saying that because they're my friend. Or there was always that. So my body then became sort of like my enemy. And then for my 18th birthday, which is also when I first got my hair dyed, for my 18th birthday, I went to Barbados and I remember getting ready for the party. And I'd worn this dress, which typically when I was younger, I hated having my arms out and I hated having my stomach out at all. So I wore this dress that had my arms out and had like this cutout detail at the time. Like cutouts they're back now, but cutouts were like the thing. So I remember looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, one, terrified of wearing the dress because I knew that people were going to be taking pictures. My grandmother is obsessed with Facebook, so I knew those pictures were going to end up on Facebook, child. And I was just like...
But you loved it? But did you like it?
How did you feel in it?
Well, so this is what led me to them being like, I had this conversation with myself in the mirror and I was like, okay, how long have you been hating your body for? You can't be doing this anymore. Like this is the last day.
This is it now, right.
This is it. So I stepped out. It was all family and, you know, because most of my family are from Barbados. So it was all family there and I had the best time. And then I remember, obviously, then the pictures were then coming through. And I remember looking at the pictures and being like, kind of like nitpicking. But
of course.
I then started having these conversations with myself where every time I would say something negative about myself, I would then follow it up straight away with a positive thing.
Love that.
Where did you learn that?
I don't know.
Was it innate? Was it something that you felt like? Was it like a little voice that said, okay, now you're nitpicking, let's counteract?
I think I just had enough of like living how I was living because I literally hated my body. Like I would cover mirrors in my house. We've got so many mirrors. There's literally like not a corner other than the kitchen that you can turn into where there's not a mirror. Yeah. So, but I would cover the mirrors in my bedroom. I'd like, whenever I'd come out of the bath, I would make sure that I wasn't looking in the mirror to look at myself.
Wow.
Yeah, it was intense.
That's work, you know? That's like a full-time job.
Yeah, I know. And it would get real bad near my period. Like, because obviously your hormones are like all over the place, whatever. So I kind of just got to a point where I was like, we're not going to do this anymore. Like, this isn't fun. Like, it's really not fun. Yeah. And also I found myself like missing out on things. So I wouldn't go to that art or drama class that I wanted to go to because I was scared that everyone was going to make fun of me. Yeah. And it's like, when you start realizing that you've missed out on opportunities, and while they might have been like the smallest thing, but who knows, I could have made a lifelong friend at that class, or you know, I could have had a really great experience or just something to look back on. I think once you start realizing that that is impacting you in that way, you then have to make the decision that you've got to change that. Yes. So on my 18th birthday, I did that. And then a few days... You
said that like it's nothing, by the way. You just said, did you hear the time? I'm just going to pause you. Yeah. Can we acknowledge what that was?
Backtrack on that.
Yeah, wild. Very.
That's a big thing to do at 18.
Yeah, I think so. But I also just think, because I'm someone that's so much in my head anyway, I have to come to terms with like me.
Yes.
So I have to, it's even something that I'm like having to relearn now, just in a different way, because it's not necessarily maybe about my body, but it's about success, or it's about the things that I haven't achieved yet on a personal level. I'm having to start change the conversations and the narrative that I'm having with myself, because you can have conversations with other people and they tell you how amazing you are, how great you are, but if you don't actually believe that, well,
it means nothing.
Yeah, it becomes difficult to live with yourself. And so I just had enough of that. So yeah, I think I just had to make a change, which sounds really profound and like,
no, I love this.
Crazy.
This
is great. You know
phenomenal.
What? I'm hearing you and I'm thinking, I'm almost welling up, because some of your experiences are mine and it chokes me. I'm not going to lie. And I think there's going to be a lot of people listening, men and women, who are going to appreciate your experience. But as we do here at Morells, we've been doing a bit of snooping. Yes, all right, we have been doing snooping. As you already know, I'm snooping you already, because I've slid into your DMs a couple of times. And to my girlfriend, calm down, it's about food. No, genuinely, we've had some conversations. Like, she would post something about a donut, and I'll be like, "Babes, what donut?" And it will be the most healthiest vegan something, and I'll be like, "Where did you get that from?"
A donut grown from a tree.
Babes, we've had those discussions. So we've been doing our snooping. We've been doing our snooping, and we did come across something that really surprised us, because I think we know you as the very confident, beautiful woman that you are, and we came across that you went through an experience of, what's it called? Body dysmorphia. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is, firstly, and how you were involved, how you got to that level?
So body dysmorphia, I think the actual term for it, because anyone can experience it. It doesn't matter what size you are, and it can come in different ways. Okay. So for one person, it might be about their skin, but for me, it was about my actual physique, my actual body. So for me, similar to the experiences that I just shared, but it was kind of in my head. I wasn't able to. How can I describe it? So it's like, imagine asking someone to draw a picture of themselves. I was unable to draw an accurate picture of myself, which sounds, people are probably going to be like, girl, that's not what it is. But this is the easiest way for me to describe it right now. But yeah, so my understanding of actually who I was, what I looked like, was completely different to what the reality was.
Wow.
And as a result, it then meant that I had a lot of issues dealing with myself, and as a result, I dealt with also low self-esteem.
Right.
So yeah, that's probably the easiest
how did that
way.
impact you? Because what I'm hearing, or because I did a little bit of research, and what I'm getting from that is that, of what I've researched in terms of someone physically who has that need, is that someone perhaps who is a 2XL may think that they're a 4 or 5XL.
That was exactly it.
Is that what it might, right?
So I struggle, even now to this day, I struggle buying clothes.
Right.
So I'll buy things that are like 2 sizes too big, and that sounds minuscule, but when you think of it on the scale of, well, that means that the person doesn't actually know
what they look
like. Right? Yeah. So something small like that, or when I was younger, and this is a slightly more dramatic end of it or extreme end of it, but when I was younger, it would be like binge eating.
Yes.
To comfort myself.
Yes.
And on occasions, it didn't happen very often. I think I can count on my hand one hand how many times it happened. But I then also purge. So that would be then making myself sick.
Mm-hmm.
It stopped because one day I did it and I choked and I was home alone. And I said,
we need you, Lauren. We need you.
This ain't happen again.
Yeah.
But this was years and years and years ago. This is like probably when I was like 14, 15.
Okay.
Wow.
But again, I can count on one hand how many times that happened.
Right.
So, you know.
And even if you couldn't, that's just
no,
your
true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can count on one hand how many times it happened. Yeah. But yeah, so it's there's 2 extremes of it in that way, but I'm not there anymore, thankfully.
Yes.
Because that's scary. And I think as well during that time, which was the craziest thing, is there was this show, I don't know if you ever saw it, Super Fat vs Super Skinny.
Yes.
And that show would scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
But not for the super fat.
Yeah.
It would scare me for the super skinny, because I couldn't understand how someone could be have like the beauty standard. So okay, yes, they're incredibly skinny, but prior to them getting to that level, you were thin. So how in your head could that be that you must make yourself sick, and to the point now where you're unhealthily skinny, anorexic?
Yes.
I could never understand that. So when I would watch that, I would digest it as, well, we never want to get there, because I don't know, it's really weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so again, that's another extreme of it, but thankfully we ain't there anymore.
I just want to add to that, because we were talking about that today.
Yes.
And after having my eldest, who's 16, I put on a lot of weight. I went to about a size 16, 18. And then I bought a treadmill and I lost it, because I'm used to being small. But it's only about maybe 6 months ago that I've come to realize that I am actually a size 6. Yeah, so for years, I would buy 10. I would buy 10.
Oh.
And then I'll buy the 8, and then I'll buy the 6.
Okay.
That was the process that you had to get to the realization. Right.
And my son is 16. I've been doing it that long.
See, it's wild. But see, so that would, I mean, not to diagnose you, but that would be an experience that would fall under that.
Yes.
And I think, to be fair, actually, the pandemic and the lockdown, I think a lot of people experienced that in terms of gaining weight, because we weren't really, you know, moving around or anything like that. And the effect that had on people mentally, because you're used to maybe having an active lifestyle, or, you know, just not looking the way that you were looking. So I'm sure that there's loads of people that can relate to that.
And I like that we can share that. And
yeah. Because it's 2 ends of it, but it's still the same. It's the same experience.
So with everything that you've said, I want you to give us 3 words to describe the previous younger Lauren, I should say, and the Lauren now. So start off when you was before the Lauren Nicole modelling career.
Okay, younger, I would say a little bit naive. No, not a little bit. Naive, girl.
Own it. Own it.
Naive. I didn't want to say that, but I'm going to say cripplingly insecure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oof.
I'm going to be honest and say that.
No, be honest.
That's your truth.
And the third, ambitious. Because despite all of that, I still knew that I was destined for something better than that.
Oh my God, you better preach.
This is already, this is the best
We're about to go into tongues in a minute. You better listen.
Hey, the
Hallelujah.
Oh, wow.
I love these guys. I also said I was not going to be looking at the camera directly.
I told you, you might need it. I told you.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
That's what I'd say. For now, present Lauren, I would say, again, still ambitious. I would say... I wouldn't say that I am, like, you know, super confident.
Okay, could have.
But I would say that I'm a fake it till you make it type of person.
Me too.
And I'm almost there at the made it.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll ever make it.
No, I think you can. And to be fair, look at where we are right now.
You're
for
right.
you.
Yeah.
No, but for you.
Girl, you're trying to get at me. I see the sparkle in your eye.
No, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's true. I went into this with fake it until I make it. And...
Now, you see, what happens is the faking becomes so rehearsed that it becomes reality.
It becomes reality.
It becomes reality. So sometimes
you've got to be delusional.
Listen, you got to do the faking.
Cheers for that.
Because before you know it, you're walking in that. It's no longer the fakeness.
You're living it.
You're living it. It's
You're
life.
living it.
Yeah.
I remember the amount of times, Anyway, I remember the amount of times I said I was going to be authentic, so I'll be honest.
Be authentic.
I remember the amount of times that my mum would walk into me, walk into my room or walk into the bathroom, and I'm like pretending like I'm talking to people.
Like, really?
That's what we're doing right now.
And look where we are right now.
Oh, wow.
Talking to you guys.
There we go.
That's manifesting. That's not faking it.
No, absolutely
No,
not.
child, that's faking it.
Okay, I'm gonna take that one. No,
but I think sometimes you do have to, because I have this, and you probably experience it as well. Both of you probably experience it as well. But you have this idea of where you're supposed to be, and doesn't matter whether the goals from 10 years ago you've now achieved. There's always what's next.
Yes.
And so, because there's always what's next, you can never appreciate what's current and what's now.
Are you sure you shouldn't have been a pastor or something? Because
listen, she says she's on her healing journey. We're getting some of the healing journey right now. This podcast
I can see the
is being
book.
blessed.
Can you see the book though? Can you see the book?
I can't wait to see the book. Can I do the hair?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, look for that book cover. Listen, I can see the book, babes.
Oh God.
Nicole's healing journey.
Wow.
Come on with it.
I would love that.
Come on.
Can I just say, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, same.
Like,
Yeah.
I am so proud of just hearing your journey so far. And you're young.
Yeah.
You haven't even started.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting started now.
Wow, you're an inspiration to so many. And I thank you for being that voice and having integrity and representing people like yourself to avoid the situations that you've gone through in the shopping centres, having to buy accessories. And that really does mean that there's a generation of women or girls that who will be able to buy stuff with their friends. So yeah, good for you. So, Miss Lauren Nicole, I love your hair.
Oh.
Your hair... Can I speak about how we met?
Yes.
So I was doing a shoot with with the fabulous Judy Love.
The very fabulous.
Very fabulous. But Judy Love is changing the game. I love you, Judy Love. You've enabled me to meet such beautiful people like Nicole. Saw Nicole on the shoot and was like, girl, I want to do your hair.
Yeah.
Right.
That was literally
That was it.
That was it, yeah.
I'm about saving hair, especially textured hair, Afro hair. We're going to touch on that.
Yeah.
I feel like in the spaces that we work, sometimes our hair isn't a priority. There isn't stylists that actually know what they're doing, and it's all about the manipulation rather than the care. So when I saw you, I knew we could work our magic at Morells, and we have this
Very
beautiful
much so.
colour.
Listen. over the gram.
You are selling me right now.
I'm so happy.
Ring, can I have the colour?
Yeah, can I have Nicole's colour, please?
No.
Nicole's colour, please. Nicole's colour.
They would never have your colour,
Excuse
babes.
me.
Never will they have your colour.
Be my own.
Own it. Painting that one time.
That's yours. That is yours. So we want you to tell us about your hair journey.
Yeah.
From the beginning to the current date.
Okay.
Yes. So tell us.
So it's really interesting because I think I posted after maybe like our second treatment together. I think I posted something where someone was asking me about like, what is my hair care and routine. And I think because from a really young age, it was always ingrained in me that I had really good hair. That was the talk, that was the conversation that was always had around me. And so I think to me, because that was ingrained in me, I don't think I actually took care of my hair.
Oof, we don't want to go. You know, we don't want to go there.
Sit back. What camera do I need to look at? Wow.
You don't need to open that can.
Because of that, it was like, okay, well, I don't.
You got the good hair. You don't have to do.
Becky with the good hair.
She's Becky, guys.
Listen.
What do I even have to do? And I think
just have to breathe.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when I was younger, of course, my mum would kind of like take me to get my hair braided, or she would braid it herself.
Right.
And it was in very much like protective styles. And I don't know what age I hit where we started then putting heat in it. But we then started putting heat in, and I would go to a salon that was near my house, and I would get like treatments ever so often. But it was never like a regular thing. So it would be like, you know, in January I got a treatment, and then I went back in July.
Yeah.
Treatments on your time.
And then we went back in September.
Yeah.
But it was never consistent. And then I got into modeling.
Child, what happened?
Well, my hair started to break because, of course, when I'm doing my own hair, my own good hair, I'm not putting in as much heat or I'm not styling it as much as I am when I've got 3 jobs a week or whatever the case may be. So I was starting to experience a lot of breakage, especially around the front, which then led me to do weave. But then I was doing weave with leave out. So then I was experiencing breakage around the top.
Okay.
I'm just going to sit back in the chair.
Yeah.
Let me bring this closer.
Yeah.
Yes. Proceed.
And then for as long as I can remember, I've always had this fascination about hair. So when I was maybe 3 years old, I cut my hair with Crayola.
Nicole, this is this is the.
I love a hair journey, boy. I love it. You know, sometimes my eyes just widen. Like, is that what people?
I've always had something about hair. So I've cut my hair, stuck it on. I think I was making Valentine's Day cards for my mom.
No, that's scary.
Yeah,
you know that's creepy, right?
Oh gosh, what do you do?
Some people will receive that card. Some people will receive that card and start praying automatically.
My mom was looking at the floor because my hair was in plaits.
She
was thinking, what is this snake-looking thing on the floor?
And it was your
left me for 5 minutes.
Yes, you had to calm down.
And I had, and I was like giving, what is that doll in Rugrats?
Angelica. What's
Angelica?
Cynthia.
I was giving Cynthia.
Oh wow. A 3-year-old Cynthia.
Yeah, that's what I was giving. I think I was 3. I might have been older than that.
Wow.
I feel like 3 is a good, because it's like you had no sense.
Yeah.
But if I say I was like 7, now it's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I think I was 3.
We'll claim that. You were 3.
And then so I'd go through periods of time where I'd decide to cut it by myself. Like, so this is now me as like an 18-year-old, 19-year-old modeling. I decide to cut it myself. But of course, I can't see the back of my head, can I? So I'm cutting. Okay. Right. So, long story short.
Did you say you're Caribbean?
Yeah.
She's got good hair.
Okay. No. I'm just saying this is. I'm not talking about the hair. I'm just talking about the consequences of cutting your hair. You clearly did. The first time you did it.
That's your business.
Okay. You had one of those, mum. The good ones.
At this point,
it's done.
If you can't learn, or if you can't hear, you must feel. So
yes. Very Caribbean.
That's what I was about to get to.
Right.
So yeah, okay. You wasn't scared of feeling nothing. All right.
No,
No problem. Keep cutting.
She started from 3 till 18. Is it 18?
No. Yeah. You had to stop that the first time.
No, but then we got into the lockdown, right? And I couldn't go to a salon.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I was then cutting my hair again.
Wow. Back to butchering.
That's it.
Thankfully, it wasn't this bad. It was just kind of like doing like the ends a little bit.
Right, okay.
But yeah, my experience has just been interesting. So back to where we were, kind of in terms of having the leave out. I then realized I can't do this with my hair anymore. So then I started wearing wigs. Right. And then I was using that as my way of growing my hair out, just having like braids done underneath and then growing it out that way, which actually really did help me because obviously my hair was
able to put your hair away and give it a break rather than have your hands in it all the time.
Yeah.
Cool.
And not only just my hands, loads of other people.
Well, that's interesting you say that, because was that acceptable? So say you decided to have braids, okay? Could you go to a shoot with rock up with braids?
No.
So let's say you had planned a holiday. We all know that when we go away, we like to put our hair in braids because we don't want to be going in the water and dealing with hair afterwards. So you couldn't do that?
Take it out.
1,000%.
You take it out.
Take it out. And that was also one of the reasons as to why. So it's funny because in the beginning you said that I'm a plus size model. And technically I am because I still do modeling jobs, but I'm no longer with an agency anymore.
Right.
But that was one of my reasons why I left as well, because I felt like you guys are seeing a white top, but as you can tell, I like to wear color. I like to be expressive. I like to have fun.
We've seen that.
But I would turn up to these shoots and castings and stuff, and I would have just got my nails done in like a funky color or whatever, and I'd be like, "You got to take it off." And I was just like, "This is not fun. This is like my time
and
when I want to."
And would you be guaranteed to get the job?
No,
I
know.
Oh,
I know.
No,
it's horrible.
And it's like, this is being this young. This is my time to have fun with my hair, 100%. With my nails, with whatever.
Got you.
And I just felt like I was being really restricted. And it paid, but
how did it make you feel?
Right.
Yes, yeah.
And then I'd have stylists who don't know what they're doing with my hair. And again, I didn't have a hair care routine, so I didn't know what I was doing with my hair either. But I knew certain things you weren't supposed to be doing with my hair.
Yeah. Yes.
And I could, it's smelling like burnt hair. And no.
Can I just jump on what you're saying? I think within the industry, there is this assumption that a hairdresser or a hairstylist just knows all the different textures that everybody has. So they will be employed to do all the hair, and then if you were the only black model, it would be a case of let's figure it out on the day rather than actually know what they're doing, which causes a lot of problems with your hair. And no wonder why you had breakage and issues and you had to put it away, because you're doing shoots with people that don't necessarily know what they're doing
and aren't qualified in it.
Let's call it
point blank period. Like aren't qualified.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's changed now, but a lot of the conversations I was having with hairstylists who were qualified on set was the fact that, well, it's not part of the curriculum.
I'm glad you said that. That's the problem. They are qualified, but they're qualified to deal with type 2, type 1, type 2 hair types. And when it comes to curls and kinks, they haven't learned anything from their curriculum, from the curriculum that they took in order to know what to do with your hair. That would be an additional course that they went on to learn how to deal with those hair types. But really, there isn't anything in the curriculum to teach them.
I believe that's changing. I think I
heard that.
I heard that, but you would know when you're on set. If you're on set and somebody knows what they're doing, that's when we'll see the changes.
That's true.
Right, true.
We can say we're being inclusive and we're going to do all these different hair textures. However, it will transcend when it's in a salon space, and you can go into any salon and say, can you do my textured hair? And they are able to do it, or you're on set and they're able to do it. So we have to see it in society rather than they're just putting it on a course to kind of tell people that we're doing it. Yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah.
But so that's how we then led to meeting each other.
was meant to be.
It really was. It really, really was.
It was meant to be.
I came in, I was saying this to you earlier, that I came in and it was literally like snowflake in my hair, just like dry skin.
Lauren Nicole scalp. If you look at our Instagram,
Hey.
we was lifting off the snowflakes.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
She doesn't have snowflakes anymore, guys.
Because I'm seeing you.
It's cured.
Because it's cured. I don't remember.
Because you're here with this fabulousness.
But it's so funny because for as long as I can remember, so that particular salon that I'd go to when I was younger, she'd always say, you have really dry scalp. But there was no kind of like action plan of what I need to do to sort out said dry scalp.
I just want to jump on that. I think the problem with that is that a lot of stylists, maybe they aren't educating themselves with what's new on the market. So it's so easy to go into a rut of, I've learnt the course and this is it. But it does help as a stylist to re-educate yourself,
100%.
learn about new products, learn about new techniques, and do your investigations on products and what they do, and use products for the intention of the product.
Yes.
So let's say someone's got dry scalp. It does pay to find the right product for the issue rather than keep doing what isn't working.
100%.
So I think that's where a lot of people might go wrong, and it pays to learn. The more that you learn, the more money that you can make. And we don't have any more dry scalp.
Right.
And I haven't even been seeing you a year yet. It hasn't even been 6 months.
It's not been snowing for a while, huh?
No.
You haven't snowed.
At all.
It's not been snowing.
We cure. I don't want to say we cure, but we helped.
No,
But
definitely.
I just want to jump on. You said you changed your diet.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think
We can't claim everything.
No, we can't take it. We can't take it all.
Might be the bigger lifestyle.
I think it has all kind of helped and combined.
Yeah.
Holistically,
Yeah.
it's all helped.
Yeah, 1000%. So at the beginning of the year, I decided that there were certain things on a personal level that I wanted to make sure I was sorting out. So one of them was my skin, one was my hair, one was my gut health, and one was my mental health.
Wow.
So I tapped into the mental health and kind of left the other three.
That's the most important though.
It is, but sometimes we also need to...
We need to realize, the mental health could be good, but when the gut is moving,
Whoa, you know?
it's time. It's time to get out the teeth.
Figure out what it is that you need to cut your diet, because the gut is needed some help too.
Do both of them.
So my head was okay, but my stomach is hurting. My head is giving snowflakes.
Tell us what you did, man. Tell us what you did. I just thought I need help. Tell me.
So I've always known that I can't take milk. Okay. And
we all know.
We all know.
Dude,
You know.
Is it a thing? Like, is it like our ethnicity?
No, we just ignore it. It's everyone. We just ignore it. We shouldn't be drinking it. No one should be drinking those stuff.
I know, it's from a cow.
But you know what it is? It's too good. The mac and cheese, man.
Do you know what?
You suffer later. It's okay.
How does that come into our diet? Like the mac and cheese. Who did that to us?
That's the thing, because even when I think about like the foods that like my grandmother speaks about her growing up with, there wasn't really... There was no mac and cheese. It wasn't involved. It wasn't
that dairy wasn't involved, right?
No.
Right.
So I don't know when that happened, but it happened, and I loved it. I love it.
We enjoyed it while it lasted.
I'm not having it anymore. But I loved it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've always known that. I've always been aware of that. Like, don't do ice cream, don't do yogurt, don't do...
We've been knowing,
milk.
babes. We've
But
been knowing.
I thought I was okay with cheese. So anyway, I like to live life on the edge. I do me. So
Girl.
I be drinking what I be drinking, I be eating what I be eating. But then it got to a point where my skin...
Okay.
And it's really vanity. But
Right.
my
I love
skin
Yes.
was saying...
No.
Hell to the no.
Hell to the
Down
no.
the cow. Leave the cow.
Leave the cow alone. Let it breathe.
Yeah.
And I think when you have a job like mine and your skin is acting up the way it is, I'm now no longer wanting to do what I need to be doing.
Yeah.
And there's bills to pay.
Okay then.
So this cow is messing with your money.
Yeah. That mac and cheese no longer tastes good, innit?
No.
Yeah.
It's no longer worth it.
Yeah.
It's no longer worth it at all. So I then had to get in contact with a gut specialist and nutritionist. So I've been working with them probably like for the last 2 months now.
So when you had your first consultation with them, were they able to pinpoint what was wrong?
No. So what she did say was, I spoke about my diet, I spoke about my lifestyle, I spoke about, she went actually into so much depth, I wasn't expecting it, but she was like, how many hours do you sleep?
Wow.
How do you deal with stress? How does stress impact you? Like so much
Let me jump in there. And,
Yes.
and the reason why I'm jumping in here is because, do you see the importance of going to a specialist? And this relates to hair as well.
You can do it by yourself. But
You can do it by yourself, but you need specialist information. And I always say, you know, when I hear clients talk about, oh, well, I do my hair myself. They sit in the seat and it's been fine for years. And well, why are you here? You've got issues.
Yeah.
You need since working here, I thought I knew about hair. And I started at Morells. And guess what? I was re-educated. I really learned about hair.
Yeah.
So you really need expert
Advice
and intervention sometimes in life in general.
I think in most, probably all areas of life.
100%.
So she's been really beneficial. I've now done tests. So we did blood tests. We did a stool test. That was
Nice.
not fun.
What is
Is
in there?
it real when they do that? Do they
they
actually
have to.
take away your stool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
What did
They
they
go,
find?
if I was to go there, all of them are dead quitting their job.
No, but you have to do it yourself.
Yeah, I know. But if I was to hand over that stool, any man
this is the end
who
of my career.
who enjoyed that job, I never knew they actually did that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So
There's so much in it.
I've not had the results back for that, but I've had my results back for my blood test.
Okay.
So what she was able to gather from that. So what they test is like fibroids, well, for women, fibroids, they test your kind of like iron levels and vitamin D and B and all of those things. So I'm deficient in vitamin D, which,
Son, hello.
to be quite honest, we probably
Was I
all are.
expected?
We all are.
To a certain
A little bit.
extent, yeah. Although this has been a very hot summer, so
This
I'm quite...
has been a real
Maybe you're
summer.
All right. You're all right, maybe.
No, but I did that... I just took that test like a month ago.
Oh, man.
Heat wave time. So what's going on?
The heat
So
wave
that means
wasn't
I'm
long
real
enough.
deficient. That means I'm real deficient.
Yeah.
But yeah, so deficient in that and a few other things. But what I loved about it is that she was able to give me an action plan in terms of, let's be realistic about what you can do. So to begin with, she told me that she wanted me to do the FODMAP diet. Now, if anyone's heard of that, it basically means where you can't eat enough things. So you can't have garlic, you can't have ginger, you can't have onions.
We can do that.
You can't have... You think that, but when you go out...
It's all in there.
Is it?
You
Yes.
just have garlic, onion, and
Really?
ginger. That's the meal.
So what is it in those things that you couldn't have?
So you... As in, you can't have that at all. Like, even if it was seasoned into something, you can't have anything
that's
that's
what
got
most of our
garlic
seasoning-
seasoning.
most of our seasoning
You
is
can't have
done.
any of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Why?
Because essentially with the... I hope I'm saying it right, but I think it's either FODMAP or FoodMap. I'm going to say FoodMap for the ease of my mouth.
Yes.
With the FoodMap diet, it's essentially about eliminating all the things that potentially... It's not acid, but are high in a specific...
Right.
thing. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's acid, but it's something like that. But like, you literally couldn't have... There were so many things that I couldn't have. And I was like, this would make sense if I maybe worked in an office situation where I'm at my desk, I bring food in to work, I eat it, I go home, and that's pretty much like my life. But because the environment that I'm in, I'm attending a lot of events where there's food that's being consumed all the time. I'm going out and about. I find it quite difficult to have packed lunches all the time. I need to have, takeout or whatever the case may be. So it's not going to work.
Wow.
So she said, okay, well, the next option would be to do gluten and dairy free. And as I already expressed to her that I think I have some difficulties with that, well, with dairy anyway, she was like, let's try that. And honestly, the first week was quite difficult because I was actually attending a lot of events that week, and you don't think about it, but often when you read a menu, they'll have vegetarian, vegan, and depending on the restaurant and its location, it might have gluten-free on the menu.
Yes.
But generally, that there'll be dairy included in that gluten-free meal.
Yeah.
Or there'd be a vegan meal, but there's gluten included in that meal. So I had a lot of difficulty trying to figure out what it was that I could actually eat. And I then entered a stage where, okay, well, I can eat potatoes. So chips, I was having a lot of. I was having a lot of veg and like salads and things. But it was like, well, chips are probably the only thing on this menu. Because if I go somewhere and it's got pasta or it's got pizza or it's got burgers and they don't do gluten-free buns, then I'm just going to have like, what, a lettuce and a burger on top. No one wants that.
Nobody wants that.
But chips... You can pretty much get away with that.
But you can't dunk, man.
You can't
dunk. Babes, you can't dunk. It's the chips and the chips alone going down.
Yeah.
Maybe
See,
a lot
that
of
would
salt.
depress. That's why they know, you know. That's why I haven't put myself in for that appointment
It's difficult, but I think it's made such a difference.
How do you feel?
Yeah.
I don't deal with fatigue as much as I used to.
Nice.
And I know that there's still certain things... I'm sure that there's still things that I need to cut out of my diet that I've not figured out what it is yet.
What's the gut saying?
My gut feels so much better. My skin is so much better.
Flawless. You're a walking filter.
Give me the number. I need the number. The gut. When you said the gut's fine, come on, give me the number.
Have you dealt with your mental health yet, though?
It's true. I forgot about that one. It's true.
No, but I think as well, because I would wake up with stomach ache, the first thing in the morning that I'm feeling is stomach problems.
Really?
That's how much it was.
Has that gone now?
Yeah. Wow. However, I had gluten during the bank holiday weekend, which...
Right, let's not, it's okay.
It's not. That's the bad angel. It's not okay.
It's not.
You don't want to wake up with that pain.
We don't need to.
But that's reinforced to me how much I need to cut it out of my diet because the pain. I'm like...
Yeah, sometimes you have to dabble back in to know.
To just know it's not for you.
Your backside is too
or
fast.
you could just fall down that terrible... terrible hole of gluten.
Yeah,
no, it's everywhere.
It is everywhere. And that's the difficult thing. But so far, I've been feeling such a massive difference.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think it's just been feeling good. Like, I think when you start to see results, it's like anyone who like goes to the gym or starts a business. When you start seeing results, you're happy, right? So you stick at it.
Yeah.
If you don't, then you're like.
Very true. Very true.
So that brings me on your hair and results. So we did our Morells treatment on you.
Yes.
Which consists of, this is me selling now. Which I don't mean to sound salesy, but this is how we got this fabulous colour. Yes. We did 3 consecutive treatments over a 5-week period, which can I say, you are an influencer and you are such a beautiful, amazing influencer.
Thank you.
You actually worked with us.
Yeah.
And you came back when you was meant to. And
Yeah.
that just meant we could take care of your hair as best as possible.
You look surprised when I said that.
I know, because I would think
that doesn't happen.
Babes.
That doesn't always happen. And then it means that we can't do what we need to do in order to resolve your hair's issues. And I love that you touched on the good hair and not having to do so much to your hair, and there wasn't a proper regime, but we have a strict regime at this salon.
Yes.
And we spoke about colour. We briefly spoke about colour and what you had in Barbados.
Yes.
And I put out there, we could do colour. And you was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And as your hair did well after the first, second and third treatment, it was time to do colour. And we did the colour, which went viral. It went viral on TikTok.
On TikTok.
How was that? Mad.
I think because I wasn't expecting.
You knew because you've been doing the most. Don't try.
I didn't.
Okay.
No.
But I didn't think it was going to go viral.
You know what? Can I jump on that? I think you were feeling yourself so much.
Yeah.
It just came out in the video. You were excited. You could hear your voice was like, oh my God, I feel amazing. It was just, I wanted whatever you had. Like when I saw, it didn't even have to be the colour. It could have been anything. Whatever you had on that day is what I wanted. And I want to add this to it. We've been a bigger girl. It's like society doesn't allow you to be so confident and so daring and so like,
sexy,
I'm that
just
big.
Sexy.
Like that's who I am.
Call it as it is.
And you did that in your TikTok video. You nailed it. Like you made me feel like, damn, my colour was great.
She started to eat food after. She started to eat breakfast every day.
I think I ate, I called myself a colorist. I'm like, I'm a colorist.
No, but you are.
No, I am. I am now.
You are.
Yeah, we've been doing calls.
I was so excited. And the thing is, what's so funny, so I left here, obviously I was recording as we were doing the colour.
Yes.
But I often record certain things and then never actually put it together.
Yeah.
So I was recording, I took my little clip in that you're aesthetically...
Oh, it's beautiful in there.
Beautiful bathroom. And I left and I was literally editing the video as I was waiting for my Uber to come.
You told me you would. You said, I'm going to make a TikTok anyway.
I was like, I'm going to make a TikTok for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm editing the video as I'm leaving. And then I thought, let's just do a voiceover right now. So literally, I'm waiting for my Uber. People are walking past me. And I filmed this voiceover about 3 different times. And then I just posted it. But I wasn't expecting...
energy. That's what that is.
I wasn't expecting that.
Neither was I.
What do you think happened there? What was it? Well, was it the colour or was it that you felt something?
I think something clicked within you.
I think that, but I do think that there's like a whole theme at the moment with black women colouring their hair and people wanting to see it.
Okay.
I have noticed that. And I think as well that probably inspired me as well to kind of talk to you about colour.
Yes.
Not that... I think at the time that we spoke about it to begin with, I didn't say that I wanted to do colour, but we kind of like
we touched on it.
We touched on it a little bit.
Definitely. Okay, so my job as a stylist is to get your hair to the point where it's healthy enough to do certain services. Yeah. So I think because of your experience that you previously had with colour, you was quite doubtful about it working. So it was for me to say, listen, your hair is healthy. We can see that it's growing. It's thicker. The scalp issues have gone. Yeah. Let's colour. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And with the confidence from the team and just seeing the difference in your hair, it was like, let's do it now. Let's get it done.
And I'm so glad that we did.
So glad. When I see you, I just think to myself, you are just representing a bunch of women that feel fearful of behaving a certain way because of their size and because of what society tells them that they should be like. And when I see you just be your full self and just nailing it, it gives me joy.
That's so sweet.
I really enjoy it. I live through you. No, I do. Listen, the plate of food, the clothes, the hair, the lifestyle. I'm like, yeah, look, where we going, Nicole? Where we going, Miss Lauren Nicole? Where we going? Like, what are we doing?
Do you know what? I think that's so sweet. But I do think that, like, I don't know. I said, like, I feel like I'm in a new era. I'm just enjoying. Right. That's my motto.
Right, got it.
And also, we had like the worst time ever
lockdown
in the pandemic. Yeah. And like, life is very short. Like, I think we always knew that life was short.
But when that happened, right? Yeah.
And the fact that we have no control. So to me, it's like, well, I might as well do funner things than what I might have done previously. And I think I spoke to you about this as well, about the fact that like this summer I've attended like festivals and been on girls' trips, and I've just been doing things that maybe before I might have been a bit fearful of or took for granted. And I'm now just like, I feel like I have a new zest for life is essentially it.
I love it.
And I'm just like, why not?
There's a book I'm reading and it's called Do It Through the Fear. And it talks about just doing things anyway. And what the fear is always going to be there, but what makes it go away is that the confidence when we keep doing, when we're repetitive with the things that we're doing. So even though, you know, you're saying you don't do these things and normally you do it, now you're doing it. Sorry, my words are going everywhere. Now that you're doing it since the pandemic, you're still fearful. Yeah. That hasn't gone.
No.
But you're still choosing to do it anyways.
Yeah. And I think as well, when I think about like how I even got into modeling, I've always, not always, but I think once I hit like 18 onwards, I've always kind of just been like, well, it's a one-time opportunity. If I don't like it, you can dye your hair back to black or whatever.
I will do that if you want me to.
No thanks.
I mean,
but you know what I mean? Like, if it's an event that you want to go to, you can turn around if you don't like it. Yeah. Like, there's so many other things that you can do. Like, if the case is that once you've experienced it, you no longer like it or you no longer want to be in the environment, you can leave.
Yes.
Or you can change it.
All right, Lauren, listen, we've got some questions for you.
Okay, let's go.
We do.
Got some questions for you.
So these are our fun questions.
Okay.
The first one is in the bedroom.
Okay.
Headscarf on or headscarf off?
I'm going to say off.
Okay.
Amen.
Because if I want to tap into that sexy, sensual energy, not saying that a headscarf moment cannot be cute, although mine's not headscarf, it's a bonnet, and I just feel like that's really not the vibe that we're going for right now. Like,
is it a big bonnet? Like
like a
You ain't
pizza.
trying to do that. You ain't trying to do that.
Yeah.
No,
And like been there, done that. And if you're in love with the person, well, everyone's still going to participate in the journey.
Is that because you're Becky with the good hair, though?
Ooh,
Is that because
Becky,
you're Becky
is
with
that
the
you,
good
yeah?
hair, though? Because Becky with the hood hair will take that off and it'll be flowing, and as we're
Becky.
making love, it's flowing all over. We put the fan on number 3 and it's flowing.
I'm saying no headscarf.
Okay, I love that. I love that. I would do both, but yeah, I would do both. It depends where you are in the relationship, right?
Exactly, because if I'm comfortable,
Yeah, then there's this headscarf, isn't it?
what the hell?
It's headscarf, bonnet, whatever it is. Maybe a hairband up.
Whatever.
Wow.
But if you want to tap into that sexy
Yeah, you've
energy,
got to take the headscarf off. I agree.
How do you?
Next
Do you?
question would be a lingerie or t-shirt and panties.
I want to say both, but I'm going to go with only one
Okay.
and say lingerie.
Okay, and with you saying lingerie, where can the plus size beauty queens get some sexy
Sure.
lingerie from?
I'm trying to think of like certain things that I have. Well, it depends what sort of vibe that you want. So
All
if
of
we're
them.
going like
All of
really,
them.
really sexy,
Yeah.
Love Honey have a plus size curve collection.
Cool.
Where they've actually got like really
Shout out to
cute-
Love Honey.
Yeah, shout out to Love Honey.
Okay.
If you want to do something that's a little bit more, well, still sexy, but like, you know, we're not doing role playing. Like, my mom is going to hate
I can guarantee you there's a couple of men taking notes.
Love
Even in
Honey.
the room right here, I see notepads come out all of a sudden behind the camera. Yeah, the people are taking notes. So give me those ones again. The first one.
What are you taking notes?
No, because we just want to make sure we can buy
Let's
our.
make sure.
Definitely
Yeah.
Love Honey if you want to be doing something a bit more sexy, risque, that
Yes.
sort of vibe.
Okay.
If
we
you
can
want to
check that
just
one.
do something that's a little bit more sensual and still has the sexy element, but like, you know, sensual, I would say Playful Promises.
Okay. I'm writing that one for myself.
Yeah, and they've got everything from, you know, A to, I think they go up to like J. J.
Wow.
cup or
Okay.
something.
Cool. We
I
need
think.
that. Take notes, people.
I think. And then I'm not going to be doing like everyday lingerie really.
Okay.
Although Alomi, who is pretty much my everyday lingerie, they do have some really cute pieces that are also like sexy vibes.
Oh, thank
But
you
can-
for sharing.
Can t-shirt and some panties just be as sexy? I find
Should
that
we have to pick one?
That
We have to pick one.
If I'm picking one, I'm going with lingerie.
Yeah, lingerie. Because,
Do
yeah.
you?
Not everyday
We've taken the
t-shirt.
note.
I
We've got the
know.
notes. We got the notes. We'll have
got
a
the
look.
notes.
And
All right.
I just want to add that, you know, maybe some other brands should venture out and doing some plus size work.
Yeah.
100%.
So we can be inclusive of everybody because we all want to feel sexy and beautiful.
100%.
100%.
And big girls have money too. So, yes.
And they're having sex too.
Oh, they are having sex.
Listen. Anyway, let's not. I stopped shaking my leg. You know, my leg was shaking, yeah? And I said, stop shaking your leg. It looks wrong. But I do it out of comfortability, not because
Hold
we're
your
talking
leg
about
down,
legs.
David.
It's like, hold the leg. Stop that.
Oh gosh!
Right,
Wow.
okay.
Next question is: if you was on a desert island and you had two of these products available to you for your hair, which one would you
It doesn't
use?
have to be for your hair, but anyway. Go.
Oh.
I think it. No. I don't know where David is going with this. The question was intended. It's a hair-related
You
podcast,
say it, but
but David's got other
if
things
you're
on
a
his
desert island,
mind.
There's only two products. Go
Mate,
on.
you're on a desert island by yourself. Okay, there's nobody there. Okay,
Say what it is, and
there's
people are
only
still gonna be able to-
animals, and you
people
should
still
not be
choose.
using these products on any of the animals. So the two products would be olive oil or petroleum jelly. What would you use on your hair?
What would you use? She said.
I'd probably say petroleum jelly.
Why? Why?
I don't think I want to go with olive oil.
Multi-purpose,
Okay.
innit?
Yeah.
Go cream,
I can use it on my
knees.
lips, on my
Thank you,
everywhere.
Sabrina. Multi-purpose.
Okay, all right, David.
Yeah.
If that's the way, if that's where you was going, I would take that. I didn't get that vibe, but
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so
I don't think I would go with olive oil.
okay, cool.
I don't know.
No, I love that for you.
What do you think?
Do you know I've taken that sentence from you?
I love that for you.
I always say that. I love that for you. When you hear me say it, you know it's from you. It's from you, Lauren.
No, I love saying that.
No, but it's it's good.
Like I love that for you. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, not the same for me though, but for you.
No, but it's like, you know, that makes you happy, that gives you joy, and I love that for you.
I love that for you.
That's great energy.
Yeah, she loves that.
And if I don't love it for myself, I'ma love that for you.
Yeah. Like, you know, I'll say that sometimes to friends if like, okay, we're going off.
Okay, no problem. Let's
stay
we
on
said
course.
we could discuss anything, and you was like, yeah, no, not that. Not that. Not that, friend. Next question.
Yes, let's go.
Wigs or weaves?
I want to say wigs solely because the irritation that I used to feel when I'd have weaves in and the scratching of my scalp, I can't do it.
Yeah.
At least with the wig, I can take her off.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go with wigs.
I'm going to say, based on what you've said, your scalp issues have gone. So if you were to do a weave now with a Morells weave, you probably wouldn't have that. Whereas before you had the flakiness and snowing, you probably had irritation on your scalp anyways.
Okay, I would like to change my answer. Okay, I'll probably go with weave then.
Yeah, because
then I can also have a more natural look.
Yeah.
There we go.
Let's do a weave
Whereas
for
wig,
you.
sometimes she's too wiggy.
Let's do a
And
weave.
it could be evening wear. It could last in
It's
the
on
room.
the head.
It's on the head. It's sewn down.
Secured.
So any type of pressure, babes, it's ready to take it.
I like both. But I mean, you know, the world is your oyster, so we can try a weave.
Yes.
Let's do it.
And see how you get on with
Stay
our
tuned,
weave.
boy.
And how your scalp
Coming
does.
soon.
Coming soon. So this is a bit of an interesting one. I think it's fun because at some point a lot of us had, those were the two options. So it would be, what was it? Relaxer burns or like pulling on your scalp. So the reason why I'm asking that is because a lot of people have only had relaxers or heat damage on their hair. So it's a way of pressing your hair. Which one would you choose? Which one's worth it? A relaxer burn or a silk press with heat damage to achieve the look? I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But because I've never had relaxer, I don't know what the length of a relaxer burn is like.
Oh, girl.
Just think about...
Fire.
Yeah, just think about fire on your head. That's it.
I think I'm going to go with the latter.
Heat damage.
Yeah,
heat damage. Yeah, it's funny you say that because there was a little bit of heat damage, wasn't there, at the beginning? Okay, so we know what that feels like.
Yeah.
Which, when I showed you today, the new growth of when we've been growing your hair to the damaged hair that's kind of leaving your hair, it's just like, we're seeing the results.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that last one resonated because for a lot of people, they think the natural life means that their hair is healthier, but actually you're causing heat damage and bad relaxers, you can have some burns. So it's like, which one would you choose? Would you prefer to have a bad relaxer or the heat damage? And was there any other ones?
No,
I think that's it with the fun questions.
Listen, it's been fun having you, I've enjoyed this.
I've enjoyed it.
So
Before
we finish up, can you give us one highlight? Just give us a highlight of the last, I don't know, couple of months or the highlights with this hair.
Yes.
Oh.
Give me the highlights with Morells colour.
The highlights with this hair. Whew. Do you know what I think? I was going to speak about like outside validation, but I don't even think it's that. I think I feel good.
Yes.
Right.
That is like the highlight.
Love it.
Like I feel powerful. I feel sexy. I feel all those things. And I could be like, oh yeah, I've got more work opportunities or I've got this. And like, that's great. But
you feel good.
Yeah.
And on your healing journey, all those little things that make you feel good, I was just, gosh, priceless.
They're oozing, man. And it's infectious. I feel it. I feel inspired. I'm coming away thinking I'm going to get my belly out as I walk out of here.
Wow. Sort your gut out.
Sexy.
Yes.
I can sort out the internal. It doesn't change shit.
Can I say, this is what we do at Morells.
Yeah.
It's more than just hair care. It's just nurturing black women and creating a space where they are cared for.
Yes.
They're not exploited.
Yeah.
We don't just take your money and just leave you without any knowledge or anything like that. I think you've gained a lot of knowledge being in the salon and learning more about your hair, and also having the mindset of having good hair, but also understanding that it needs to be taken care of.
Yes.
Changes the game.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
want to just add that so many people have called because they want your colour, but you have completed the Morells treatment package.
You're not getting it.
You're not getting the colour. Like, integrity is everything. We don't need to do services that will damage your hair because you want it. That's right. And that's not what we're about. So we thank you for completing your treatment package with us.
Because you could have been a diva. You could have been a hell of a diva. And said on my terms.
No, I love it.
Never me.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So where can we find you?
Yes, so you can find me on all social media platforms at Lauren Nicole FK. That's Nicole, not McCall or whatever else someone else thinks.
Whoever that person is.
Yeah. There's no dots or slashes in between any of that.
Oh, gosh.
Awesome.
Wow. It is a pleasure. If you have enjoyed this podcast, please share with your friends and your family.
Yes.
Hit up Lauren, hit up Morells. Would love to take care of your hair and give you a beautiful colour. Not that colour. Not that colour.
It's too exclusive. Way too exclusive.
Yes.
Nicole, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a massive pleasure, man.
I could do this again.
Yes. Let's
See you
do
next
part
week.
2.
Yeah, oh, not that soon. 6 months. When we do your retouch.
6 months is my retouch?
No.
Okay.
No.
Wow.
By the way, your hair has been growing. We did it, 5 weeks ago?
Yes.
I was meant to wrap this up, but I'm still talking. Hey, guys. So we want to give you a gift of our home treatments. Yeah, I'll bring it up shortly, but we want you to have a bit of Morells at home, and the treatments that we do in the salon, we've got a home range, so you can take care of your hair at home and have a regime that works. So yes,
Don't mean you don't
you're
come back
welcome.
and see us though.
Yes. We need to see you. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Rick, do you know what I said? Remember when I did your colour and I was like, what did I say? Something about I've customized it so you can't go nowhere else.
That's right. It's not straight out of the box, this one.
No, you have to come back.
I will be back.
Yes.
As soon as you allow me to be back.
Yes, babes.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. And take care, everyone. Have a lovely day.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
See you later.